Yes, yes, welcome in everyone. We're back up high above the city. Happy to report that things have totally cooled off a little bit. We had some rain, the wind's blowing, the sun's come out. There's my best friend and my boy Angelo sitting on his couch. Hi, bud. Hanging in the sun. We're very, very excited again on the One Burner Bachelor, not only because of our brand new poster and logo that my friend Jim has drawn up and created, but in the mail I got this brand spanking new saute pan for the One Burner Bachelor from my big sister, and I can't wait to use it. We'll be back to use our brand new saute pan. Nice. Stay tuned. Yes, yes, we're back. 37 steps up high above the city. Yep, my brand new saute pan, and even though it was brand new, we definitely still steamed some water out of it just to be sure there's no bacteria and everything is safe before we start preparing. Now what I've emptied in here so far to get things started, to let's start simmering, is a light Progresso beef pot roast soup. Not because I'm making soup, but because I need something as a nice base to get our dish started. Now this was a pull tab. That's about the only thing my best friend Angelo, who's having a snack right now, can't help me with, because he has no thumbs. So I got this opened up. So we're going to let this light beef pot roast soup from Progresso, one of the top expert soup makers in the world. So let's just use what the experts use, because the experts know what they're doing. We'll be back to add to this dish, the One Burner Bachelor. Okay, we're back. We've already added to our simmering beef stew, beef pot roast soup. And what we've added to that is the Knorr fettuccine alfredo, the pasta and the grated cheese that's right in there with it. The simmering of our pot roast soup will begin to soften the pasta, and it will mix with that cheese flavor, making us more of a beef noodle soup. And while that's simmering and doing its thing, and Angelo's still hanging here on his couch enjoying the sun, I'm going to move out on the balcony and share a little story with you. Some things you just can't make up. Now, back when I was a kid, I hope I wasn't very old, I found a Maxwell House, one of those metal cans with coffee, and on the can it said right on it, 3 pounds of coffee. So I went and gathered up some stones, and I filled that can up. My dad was out cooking on the hibachi to get dinner ready, and I put the can down in front of him and I said, "Dad, I have for you exactly 3 pounds of rocks." And of course he didn't really want to ask. I could tell by his face, and he said, "Roll, how do you know that's exactly 3 pounds of rocks?" And I said, as serious as I could be, because I was a little kid, "It says right there on the can, 3 pounds. And Dad says, "Well, that says 3 pounds of coffee." And I said, "Sure, Dad. What weighs more, a pound of feathers or a pound of rocks? Don't try to fool me on that one." And he said, "You're not funning with me, are you?" And I said, "No," because I was as serious as could be. And he said, "You know, this steak, this stuff on the grill is just about ready. Why don't you go upstairs and get washed up for supper?" And the conversation ended there. A few days later, we ended up down in the basement replacing the old hot water heater. And at that time, he was going to explain to me how water seeks its own level. And right then I said, "Dad, I think supper's almost ready. I'm going to go upstairs and get washed up." All right, some things you can't make up. The One Burner Bachelor. We'll get back inside and see what's cooking. All right. Yes, yes. That is still just simmering away, doing its thing. The pasta's starting to soften. It's all thickening up a bit and smelling fabulous. I want to share a couple of the comments, a couple of the texts I've received. Number one, thank you for adding no salt to your dishes. I didn't realize you could flavor things so many other ways. That's cool. Very seldom do I add salt. I spent a lot of time working in an assisted living, independent living for the elderly, and if the first person in the dining room happened to shout out, "Mine is way too salty," then everyone in the place would decide that theirs was too salty. So we cook with very little salt. If you want to add some, go ahead. But as I thank you for that text, yup, there's many other ways to flavor your dishes without using salt. Another very flattering text I got was from a young couple that have an 8-year-old little girl and a 7-year-old little boy. And they commented that we enjoy getting together just before supper in the evening as a family and watching at least one of your One Burner Bachelor episodes. Your cat Angelo is great and really makes it enjoyable. So those are just two of the really, really nice texts I've received and comments I've received so far here on the One Burner Bachelor. In just over 2 weeks, we've had our new channel here on YouTube. There's Angelo, mentioned in the text. Love you, bud. Hanging on his couch. Hi, handsome. Here he is. He's a big help, and he's my best friend. We'll be back to put the final touches on our beef pot roast noodle fabulousness. We'll be back. Yes, we're back. Just putting the final touches on this beef stew noodle stew, I guess. It's too thick to be a soup, which is what we wanted because the pasta is now softened and thickened, and the Parmesan cheese has helped thicken things up also. And to kick it up and to flavor it up like I like to do so often, I've added some packets of the various things from Taco Bell. Even a couple salsa packets here. And it's not just heat and hot that is added to these. There are just a bunch of ingredients in all of those packets that are put together to create those sauces. And there again, the experts make them. The experts put them together. The experts have them on the market. So, not being an expert, I like to use what the experts use. With just 7 minutes on this episode of the One Burner Bachelor. Thanks, Angelo. I'm glad it's cooling off. We love you. And we'll see you next time on the One Burner Bachelor. Thanks, everybody.